dementia residents say, well, you can't plan here because you never know whether it will come to fruition. So you can only live from day to day. And indeed, that's how it is in a dementia unit, living from day to day. Quite freeing. People aren't thinking about the pains and problems of the past because they don't remember it. There's no fear of the future because they're not thinking that far ahead. So really, it's just the 24 hours ahead of them that's of their concern. And if they're settled and they're not worrying about when their son's going to visit or whether they can get home, the major concern really is, can they find their room, direction orientation being important for that, and when's lunch and a watch being important for that. That's it. If I can find my room and have my lunch and I'm settled, happy as Larry, I can live in a dementia unit, no concerns at all. So that's the remarkable thing. If everything can be set up for the dementia resident with a comfortable room and a warm room and lovely familiar things around, if they know how to get to their room, their door's identifiable and they're orientated to being able to find their room, then with all that in place and friends and family visiting, actually dementia residents can have quite a nice life because they're not overwhelmed with worry and concerns of the past, not being able to think about it, and they're not overloaded with fears of the future. They very much are in the present. That's why they're such good observers. Dementia residents are the first to know if you've cut your hair, if you've streaked your hair, if you're pregnant and it's showing, if you've put on weight, they'll notice all right. That's what they spend most of their day doing, observing relatives and staff and whoever else, what you're wearing, what colour lipstick you're using, whatever. So coming into the present moment can also be more beneficial because than just observing, though observing's interesting and cognitively engaging in a sense, because they can be present, because they're not distracted by negative thoughts of the past or worrying thoughts of the future or technology and scrolling. They can be present and have a lot greater focus and concentration than actually any of us can, because once they harness their concentration, once they get a topic of interest that they enjoy, say with reading, for example, or a workshop or an engaging conversation, or reading something in the press that they like, once they're harnessed in with concentration, they can really fixate on that for a long period of time, often 1 to 2 hours. With the workshops I used to take, even though it was difficult to get the concentration initially because of all the distractions going on in the unit, but once the concentration was garnered and the dementia residents had the focus, then they could sustain it. They could keep it up in a much more concentrated fashion than most of us can, because they're not being distracted by technology. They're not being distracted by negative thoughts of the past or worrying thoughts of the future. They're just totally there. And the other thing is they realize that it's very important for them to capitalize on their concentration, to capitalize on their thinking, to get that confidence with their thinking so that they can communicate and be part of the activities and community, because all of that they well realize will take them away from their negative dementia stress and everything that's involved in that. So they've got a big incentive to concentrate and be present, because it gets them away from the dementia stress. It gives them a better quality of thinking. It enables them to be in a better situation to be able to concentrate and communicate, and because of that make friends, and because of that communicate with friends and family that come in. So of course there's going to be a better quality of life because of that. So they're highly motivated to concentrate, and because of the monastic situation of a dementia unit, without the addictions, you can't have anything of an addictive quality except medications maybe and side effects from that. But in terms of alcohol and drugs, etc., there's nothing like that in a dementia unit. I mean, there is sugar. Yeah, that's not great. But anyway, aside from smoking and drinking and drugs, recreational drugs. They're not there. So the intellects or the mind's not being constantly pulled towards that addiction. And without technology, they're not being pulled to social media. So once focused and concentrated, without having all those addictive distractions or technological distractions, they can stay in that concentrated moment quite happily for a long period of time, especially if the group focused concentration is there. Then the individuals can tap into that group focus and concentration. Just like praying at a church or meditating in a group, it's the same thing. They can tap into that group energy and harness that concentration and presence and enjoy that quality of thinking, which brings happiness, isn't it? I mean, what brings happiness? Good quality thinking and good quality relationships, both of which dementia residents can have when they can redirect their thinking away from their dementia stress and focus on interesting, informative topics. So that's why we need to bring information into dementia units so that dementia residents have interesting topics to be able to focus on, concentrate on, and activate their intellect with, so that they can have brighter, better thoughts and a better quality of life. So I've written about all these topics in the two books, The Resident's Voice and The Resident's Rise, both from a dementia unit, all about the dementia residents' experiences and their obstacles and challenges and how they overcome their, they're just wonderful, overcoming adversity. Dementia residents and the way they overcome adversity are an admirable group, and we can all learn so much from them, applying the techniques that they use, their courage, their bravery, their effort, enormous effort to think and concentrate and be good citizens and be good people while living in a dementia community. It really is so heartening and so inspiring. It's the best work I've done in my life, and they still continue to inspire me as I do these videos, etc., on these channels, YouTube and TikTok. So thank you for your looks and your likes and engagement. Please subscribe, and thank you for those of you that are, and pass on links to people that are working with dementia that you think would be interested in this work. Thank you so much.